Well, I didn't think I'd have to make another video on this, but here we are. This is the last video I'll make on this topic, because to be honest, I just want to make videos about GTA 5, GTA 6, and just make some really cool content. And make content about stuff I'm passionate about. I don't want to be talking about Boss Man all the time. A lot has happened since that video came out yesterday. Firstly, thank you to everyone that subscribed to the channel and viewed the video. In this video, I'm going to be doing a lot of housekeeping, explaining why a lot of theories about me are wrong, and a lot of theories about Mr. Boss are also wrong. But also, in this video, I'm going to defend Mr. Boss. Ooh, plot twist. So let's just go from the start. Now, the comment section of the video I did on Mr. Boss for the win was interesting. So in this video, I'm going to explain some of the points I made in my Mr. Boss for the win video in a bit more detail. Now, this video won't be for everyone. My last video was designed to make all my points clear, concise, and easy to understand. And I missed out a lot of information, mainly because there was a lot to get into. There's so many scandals he's been involved in over the years, and going over things that didn't directly affect me or the community that I was in didn't really make sense. So I didn't cover them in the video. So in this video, I am going to dip into a few of those things. This might be a longer video, I have no idea, but sit back and hopefully you enjoy today's video. Before we get into today's video, throughout December, I am giving away a PlayStation 5, and all you've got to do is comment on one of my videos in December and subscribe to the channel. And I am aware that doing this, I am potentially going to be giving a PlayStation 5 away to someone that's commented not very nice things on my post, especially because of the last video, because I am picking the winner randomly. Like, guys, there's no point comment on my video saying I'm poor, I need a PS5, whatever. I'm choosing the winner randomly because that's the fair way to do it. Now, the first comment is, can we all comment on FTW's channel to respond to this? He won't. Whether you write something positive or negative on his channel, he won't respond. And in previous scandals in the past, which we'll get onto later in the video, he hasn't responded to the buzz around it. He doesn't comment on things like this, which is one of the reasons the community don't like him, because he doesn't hold his hands up to when he does something wrong. Next is quite a funny comment, but I really don't suggest trolling people with mod menus and stuff like that. Like, don't be annoying. Like, you can dislike him all you want, but there's one thing reporting on something and there's another thing actually interfering with someone. So yeah. Now, the next comment I heard quite a lot. A lot of people said, well, I know of Mr. Boss for the win, but I've never heard of you. I started posting on this YouTube channel 2 months ago, and that was like 1 or 2 videos a week. Only in the past 7 days have I really started pushing out content. So yes, you've never heard of me, but in the past 7 days, I've gained more subscribers per day than Mr. Boss for the win has. And before you say that's because I did a video about him, that's from before I did the video about him. I'm working really hard to grow this channel, and my goal is by the middle of next year to be at 10,000 subscribers. So yes, you've never heard of me, but I'm working on that. Now, the next comment is a very common occurrence. I really despise this guy. He stole my content and re-uploaded with his annoying voice on top. I copyright claimed, and he had the nerve to call me to tell me I wasn't going to win and he would get to keep the video. Of course, he was right. YouTube will always side with the bigger YouTuber. Seriously, F this guy. Now, I'm not sure about the legitimacy of these claims, but this wouldn't be the first time this happened. There's been numerous YouTubers over the years that have repeatedly had content stolen from them. Now, in the GTA 5/GTA 6 commentary community, there's a lot of channels out there that will allow you to use their clips as long as you credit them in the description of the videos, which is what I do in my videos. But there's been many instances where Mr. Boss has done a video about someone and used their content and even used their research and not credited them. Now, for example, when I did my GTA 6 AI video, which part 2 of that is coming out soon, within that video, at the very start of the video, I said where my source was, where I got the information from, put their Twitter on the screen so people can go and follow them, and that's a really integral part to having integrity as someone that does this sort of content. When the only thing you're adding is your own creative process, thoughts, editing, but the actual content itself is supplied by someone else, the very, very minimum thing you can do is credit the person that supplied you the content. Now, the next one is something that came up so much. How would you explain Rockstar following him? Well, so I'm not sure about Instagram, but on Twitter, Rockstar Games do follow him. Now, a lot of people seem to think this is because he works with Rockstar and he has inside information and he's the best YouTuber in the world. A number of years ago, I had a Red Dead Redemption 2 account where I would take like in-game screenshots, like artistic photos from within the game, color grade them and stuff like that, and upload them to Twitter. And Rockstar Games followed that account. Rockstar Games follow a lot of people that make GTA content, but Rockstar Games followed him years ago, like when his content was good and he wasn't clickbaiting about GTA 6. Rockstar don't watch what YouTubers post about them. They're not interested. YouTube to Rockstar is such an irrelevant thing. Like, YouTubers and what we talk about their games, it does not matter. YouTube probably for the most part hasn't affected their sales in any way, shape or form. Even if people are making playthroughs and videos about the game, if anything, it negatively affects it. Now, we need to talk about this. Now, the next point, oh my days. This had me pulling my hair out. People seem to have the general consensus that if it pays the bills and he makes money from it, then it's absolutely okay. Promoting unethical businesses, clickbaiting people, farming people's attention for monetary gain, people seem to think that's okay because he makes money from it. I don't understand the thought process, and I wish I did. I really wish I did. Now, a lot of people are saying things like he's got bills to pay and all of this. Now, I mentioned this at the start of my last video. My point was not to question the amount of money he makes, but his ethics and how he gets that money. Now, a lot of people are under the impression that, oh, he's got bills to pay, he's got a family to feed, all of this sort of stuff. Dude's rocking around in a Ferrari 458 Italia and a McLaren 570S. He's not having to do it to get by. He's doing this so he can live a high lifestyle, which making money from YouTube, there's nothing wrong with. Dude could be the richest YouTuber in the world. Whether the guy makes $1 a month or $1 million a month, it doesn't matter. My video was a critique of his content and the way he behaves. Now, you may say, well, he wouldn't be able to make that sort of money if he didn't do this stuff. Now, looking at other channels that don't do this sort of content, such as the Rad Brad, TGG, all these other creators, their channels more often than not make a lot more money than Mr. Boss for the Win's channel, but they're not doing anything unethical on their content. They're not clickbaiting the hell out of all their videos and making completely nonsensical, stretched out videos to farm your attention. And they're getting more views. So saying that this is the only way that he's able to get views is rubbish. Do better, man. Do better. Now, there's a lot of comments from people saying that this whole topic is nothing new. Why are we talking about it? Not even going to bother watching the video when we know everything already. Every single person that commented this didn't watch the video, because in the video I explained why I'm making the video, how it affects the community, and how things have got worse. When the last videos came out about Mr. Boss for the Win, and I mean the countless other videos that have been made about him, that was in like 2017, 2018, 2019. Back then he was a smaller channel. He was still big, but he was a lot smaller. Since then, Mr. Boss for the Win's channel has nearly doubled in size, and there's a whole new wave of people that don't quite realise what they're getting themselves into because they're children, which is fine. Doesn't mean I have to stand for it. Right, there was a load of comments from people saying that Mr. Boss for the Win should be arrested by iDubbbz the content cop, and a few people compared my video to iDubbbz's content cops that he did back in the day. This was the biggest compliment I've ever received as a YouTuber. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, like, I was gassed about this. Thank you all so much, because like content cop was like, yes. Thank you all so much. I appreciate that. That's gassed me up. A lot of people made comments about how he's made loads of videos about the GTA 6 trailer and stuff, and the reason why I haven't commented on this is because I do the exact same. I can't criticize someone for doing something that I've also done. There's a lot of things that I didn't bring up in the video because I don't have the right to. I'm not going to call them out for every single thing ever, when some of the things I am guilty of myself. I've only called him out on the things that are fair and that I have a right to. I don't have a problem with people making 1,000 videos out of the GTA 6 trailer and commenting on stuff. Like, there is a lot of information in there. Everything from the game engine to the graphics to landscape things to all sorts of stuff about the map and everything. It's all in the trailer. So there is a lot of videos to be made, and I can't comment on that. I can't criticize him for that. Then I had this comment: look how you talk suits about this. You will do some suit GTA 6 self-report. You just mad you're not famous from it. There's a few comments like this that made no sense, but I think the general idea is that I'm attacking Mr. Boss for the Win because I'm jealous of him. And a lot of people that commented this didn't read my pinned comment at the very top of the video, or didn't even watch the video itself. And I know this because, in other words, I addressed this in the video and in that pinned comment. My day job is working with YouTubers, some of them 10+ million subscribers. I help YouTubers build their brand strategy, get brand deals, grow their business, scale up. Mr. Boss is smaller than the smallest creator I work with. I work with a number of different awesome creators, and the reason why I don't mention who these creators are is because I keep myself anonymous on YouTube, and the reason I do that is to respect my privacy, but also to respect the privacy of other creators. A lot of viewers don't need to know the business dealings that go on behind YouTube channels, so I don't talk about who I work with or anything like that, and it's within the contracts I have with some of these creators that I don't say I work with them. So saying that I'm mad I'm not famous from it, I'm doing this YouTube thing as purely a hobby, and I'm literally not making any money out of doing this. Like, I'm making pennies. I'm not like some 16-year-old kid. I'm getting dangerously close to 30 years old. I don't rely on YouTube for any form of income for my day-to-day life. That being said, I would like to make this a main form of income, and I'd like to grow it, but there is an ethical way to do it, and that's the whole point of doing this. That's the whole point I made the video in the first place, was to try and do a cleansing of the absolute nonsense that is the GTA 5 and GTA 6 communities at the moment. Now, the next thing is Mr. Boss's sources. So in a lot of his videos, he says he has an anonymous source that told him this, told him that, and he never says who it is. There's two things I want to say here. I have information about some games that are coming out because I work with a lot of games development companies when it comes to making brand deals with large YouTubers. But the reason why I don't make a video when I have this information is it's not professional. Like, if I can't say who the source is and say it with chest, there's no point mentioning it in a video, because I could say this person told me this and this is going to happen because of this, and I'm not going to bring any topics up in a video even if I have a source if I can't say who the source is. Otherwise we're working on the basis of trust me bro. Mr. Boss does this in his videos, he mentions a source that we can't verify. Next we have no one cares, you're just a fan of him, plain and simple. I'm not going to spend more than 10 seconds on this comment. If I was a fan of him I wouldn't make the video. Done. Right, the next is G2A. So there's a whole segment of my last video which is about G2A, which is the platform that is a online marketplace to buy shark cards and stuff like that. A lot of people in this video said that they use G2A for their PC games. Some of them had really bad experiences, some of them had really good experiences, but there's one person that brought out something very interesting to my attention, and actually I had a few messages on Discord about this as well. One of the comments reads, I can tell you for a fact that sites like G2A source these codes illegally. As a retail manager, I cannot tell you the amount of people I have saved / stopped from being scammed. Now something I want to say here, there's a video which is about the game Driver San Francisco, where the person was able to buy the game online with a Subway card. So they went to Subway, got a Subway card, and they were able to then buy and download the game online. Now this is a common strategy that scammers use, and one of the most common scams that we can see at the moment is usually elderly people are receiving phone calls from someone claiming to be from their bank or claiming to be from a tech support company, and they'll convince the people to log into their bank account online and share their screen. Then the person will just literally use the developer tools to change the figure that shows up in the bank account, and they'll basically say to the person, we can give you all your money back even though the money was never taken. If you go to Best Buy or any of these shops and buy a gift card for this game, you need to give us a £2,000 gift card or £250 gift card and we'll give you access to your account back, when in reality the person never lost access to their bank account to begin with. I'll put a link in the description below to Jim Browning's channel. He does a lot of videos exposing call centers and scams. This explains usually how these codes for shark cards and PlayStation Network stuff is all acquired. And from this comment you can see a bit more detail. I've personally stopped this, with the biggest one being an elderly woman who had, at the point of me stopping it, I spent over £10,000 on this. It's sickening to know that this has happened and that other stores have let this happen and not picked up on it. If you take anything from this, please do not buy from places like G2A, as you're contributing to this disgusting scheme. And as you can see at the bottom there, that they know someone personally that was really negatively affected by this. I spent about 2 hours last night doing some research into this, and the more you go into it, the more you want to stay away from it. Now I'm not saying it's G2A's fault this is happening, they are just a retailer, an online seller. It's no secret that this is how a lot of the codes are acquired. Now I had to spend a lot of time in my comment section defending the gaming gorilla. I actually reached out to his team like a week ago to ask if I could get a statement from him about how he creates content, because I wanted him to be a part of this video. I didn't get a response obviously because he's a busy guy, so understandable. This one guy said, Mr. Boss for the win lives rent free in your head. Imagine him taking you serious. You don't even have 3k subs and you're crying. YouTube ain't for everyone. Get a life, little kid. Where do we start with this one? Yes, I don't even have 3k subs, but I've gained the 2k subs I have. For the most part, most of it was over the last week and a half. So actually, on average, I'm gaining more subs per day than Mr. Boss for the win. But the next thing is that saying that because I don't have loads of subscribers, what I say is irrelevant and that I'm not valid. And this is a really common childish thing to think, that someone's authenticity or someone's integrity is directly related to the amount of followers they have online. Like, this is what scares me about this generation that's coming up now, that someone's validity in their belief system and who they are is directly related to how famous they are. And to be honest, YouTubers and famous aren't really the same thing. And the next bit, YouTube ain't for everyone. Get a life, little kid. Little kid. I'm pretty sure that I'm probably 10 years older than this person. YouTube ain't for everyone, saying, like, making it out like, oh no, I'm struggling with YouTube. I'm not struggling. My channel, in terms of Social Blade rankings, I'm in the top 1% of channels that started at the same time as me. So cheers, broski. Now this person, Mr. Megan, when I asked how TGG is the same, they said he lies in his thumbnails to get people to click his videos. He's done this several times and has been called out for it. He even admitted he does this. I can't find any proof of this, so I asked, can you send me a link or source? It'd be cool to learn more. I'm not trying to attack people for questioning me or anything like that. Like, if there's a source of some information about something, I want to see, I want to learn. If I've been wrong about something, correct me. Do it. So far, no one's been able to correct anything I've said. They've just managed to call me a hater. And of course, I didn't get a response, and a couple more people commented on that asking for sources as well, and they got ignored. because there isn't a source. Now the next thing is a lot of people have asked me to make a video on Chaos, a video on Noxy. I'm not a commentary channel, I don't comment on the community, but the last video and this video is the only time that I really want to dive into this. I'm not really interested in becoming the analyst for gaming YouTube. It's not really what I'm interested in, and I don't want to be known as the guy that just rips apart other channels. It's not, I want to make content about Grand Theft Auto 5, Grand Theft Auto 6, cool technology in the industry. I don't want to be that guy. The reason I haven't made a video on Chaos, or I didn't mention Chaos in that video about Mr. Boss for the win, is that I don't know enough about Chaos. I haven't seen a lot of his videos. Mr. Boss for the win is the guy that comes up my feed the most. Now some people have said that I haven't done a video on Chaos because Mr. Boss for the win would get more clicks. That's not the truth. If I did a video on Chaos, I would get more views. Chaos gets more views. If I wanted the most amount of views on a video throwing shade on someone, I would have done a video about Chaos, or other gaming YouTubers for that matter. But I didn't do it because I don't know enough about Chaos. But Mr. Boss for the win, I have watched since I was a kid, and I have a somewhat online relationship with his content. Now there's a few comments from people saying that Mr. Boss for the win's thumbnails may be clickbait but not the videos, and someone rightly pointed out, I don't think you understand what clickbait is. How can you have one without the other? Which is very true. And this comment here says every YouTuber is a clickbaiter, and that's true, but as I mentioned in the last video, and this is what annoys me about people not actually watching the video before they bloody comment, yes, it is fine to bait people into clicking your video, but when they're on the video that they see needs to be relevant to what they've clicked. It has to be perfectly on brand. The video has to be directly to do with the title and the thumbnail. Now another thing as well, and this is to my subscribers, please don't respond to these sorts of comments being negative. Like, I made my last video to make a point, to lay out all the information and allow people to watch it and make a decision themselves on whether they want to watch Mr. Boss's content, and that's fine. But if someone's a Mr. Boss fan, don't start telling them that they're wrong, this, that and the other. I want to know what people find engaging about Mr. Boss's content. So for example, I replied back to this one saying, that's fine man, you can support whatever creators you like, because you can. I'm not trying to turn people away from Mr. Boss. What I'm trying to do is hold him accountable for his not so ethical behaviour on the platform. Now, this comment's quite funny. Dude could literally see a speck of dirt in the GTA trailer and make 10 hours worth of content and drag it out intentionally for 9 minutes to get ad revenue when he could have finished the video in 2 minutes. Which is funny because like Mr. Boss dropped a video pretty much doing exactly that, which was hilarious.
Like light shining and hitting dust particles.
So in my last video, I mentioned that in one of Mr. Boss for the Win's video, he says that the Rockstar trailer has been seen and that it's a banger. And I literally did a full breakdown of his video showing that at no point in the video did his source say that they'd seen the trailer. And someone commented saying, Jason Schreier literally says he's seen the trailer and it was a banger lol. I actually listened to the podcast. So I actually spent 45 minutes last night, because I don't have anything better to do apparently, and listened to the whole podcast again. At no point in the podcast did Mr. Boss for the Win source say he had seen the trailer. So when I replied to this person asking whether it was seen, yeah, of course I didn't get a response. And this is what annoys me with a large amount of the people that have defended Mr. Boss for the Win in my comment section. They defended him by just making stuff up. If Mr. Boss for the Win hasn't done something wrong and I've said he has, make that point, provide a source, provide some information and defend your standpoint. That's fine. You have the right to do that. If I've said something wrong, I'll hold my hands up and I'll admit it. But making stuff up is so pointless. Don't do it. Don't waste your time and don't waste mine. Now, Mr. Boss dropped a couple of videos last night, and one of the videos he dropped actually wasn't too bad. Yeah, it was drawn out and he repeated the same point over and over and over and over again to drag out the length of the video. But the title and thumbnail weren't clickbait. The points were general and concise, and for the most part, it's a better video. So credit where credit is due. It's a good start. Now, one of the things I want to say in this video, there's two different ways to criticize and analyze someone's behavior online. There's things that are completely non-tangible. For example, me criticizing Mr. Boss for the Win for the way he looks or this, that and the other, that isn't justified and it has no bearing or the weight on the things that I'm criticizing him for. And there's tangible things like his behavior, some of the brands he pushes, and the way he produces his content. They're things that are fair game and I can criticize the same way that any one of you watching this now can drop a video on me and make fair criticisms. 100% understandable and fair game. But a lot of people have commented on my video seeming to think that everyone disagrees with me. Well, I'm going to show you my analytics for this video so you can see how many people liked and disliked the video. So it's fair to say that 96.5% of the people that watched my content agreed with what I said. That is an outstanding like to dislike ratio for any video on YouTube. Now, a lot of his fans are going to twist this and say, oh, he's just talking about how many likes he gets. Now, what I'm talking about is the general consensus from the community of what they think to people criticizing Mr. Boss. And if people think this to people criticizing Mr. Boss, it clearly shows that people aren't happy with him. Now, the next thing I want to address is People are saying that I'm only doing this for money, and the people that are saying this clearly haven't watched the video, because I did a whole section in the video which is about how little money gaming makes on YouTube, especially critiquing people. It doesn't make any solid cash. Now this video is actually coming out a lot later than I wanted it to, because I had to wait for my analytics to update to show me my revenue, but from that video I made 24 pence, which in cents is like, what, 30 something cents? I barely made any money on it because it isn't an advertiser friendly topic. Now if we compare that to my video which is about the GTA 6 map, that video made about $15 because it is advertiser friendly. So I make more money on a video about maps than I do about Mr. Boss for the win, because advertisers don't want that adverts on videos that are drama. So that's going to do it for today's video. This is the last time I want to talk about this, because I don't want to make content about Mr. Boss for the win. Like this, that's not why I came to YouTube. I just had to follow up from yesterday because there's a lot of things that were left unsaid in yesterday's video, and I think it's important to respond to the community with this video. So thank you all for watching today's video. Remember, I've got the PS5 giveaway going on, so drop a comment and subscribe if you want to be entered into that, and I will catch you all in the next video.